Most men don't realize they're living for approval. It's killing their power as a man. Whether it's sending a text and anxiously waiting for a reply, or holding back your truth because you don't want to upset somebody's feelings, or maybe you post on social and you're just constantly refreshing, looking for likes. That sounds familiar, then you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop searching externally for that validation and take back your power as a man. Where I'd love to start in this video is understanding where validation comes from, where this never-ending seeking for validation, like where does that start in our lives? And it really starts in childhood. This is seeking validation from parents, from teachers, anybody that really is kind of guiding us in our lives, where we're taught at a very young age to try to please them. And for many of us, myself included, can create the people pleaser. And I'm sure you've heard that term before. Nice guy is another term that can be used to describe these types of behaviors. But what ends up happening is you learn your entire life to be reactive instead of decisive. You hold back what you really want to say or what you really want to do because you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. And it can lead to a lot of confidence issues and self-esteem issues because we know so badly what we want, but we just don't have the confidence and the power to say it or to do it or follow through on it due to this conditioning that we learn early on in childhood. And a big area where this really shows up for men is around women. The constant need for their validation in the dating scene, this can come across as neediness. And it's a big killer, especially for a lot of women. So if you're somebody that's constantly like needing something from the world, then I'm really hoping that this video is going to help. And the first thing that we have to recognize is that at some point, we need to just stop giving crap about what other people think. You have to start adopting the mindset that you are worthy regardless of what anybody else thinks. Regardless of their opinions, of what's happening in your life, you need to start living by your own internal compass. And the thing is when you decide in your life that you want to stop people pleasing, that you want to stop looking for validation and taking your power back, it's going to be really uncomfortable because your entire life, your nervous system is accustomed to like pleasing others or walking on eggshells or not wanting to disrupt the peace. So when you start to set boundaries, when you start to say no to people and not offering explanations, when you start to actually speak your truth, this is something people don't talk about. It's going to be uncomfortable. Like it's literally going to start to create havoc inside your body. And I first experienced this when I first started posting my truth on social media. I was almost nervous when I was posting the content or I was posting the stories. I felt this almost like uncomfortable, unsafe, and anxiety type response because I was like, this feels really unsafe. I'm used to not having an opinion. Now that I have one and I'm putting it out there to the world, my body feels scared. And what happened is over time, it's like going to the gym. You get stronger and stronger, and you start getting these reps. And then over time, you kind of wake up one day and you're like, I don't really give a shit what other people think. I'm going to do this anyways, or I'm going to say what I want to say. Now, obviously, that's not permission to be an asshole, but it really starts to happen and shift in the body over time, and it starts to feel a lot more safe. You start to recognize that, hey, I can say what I want, I can say no to somebody, I can set a boundary, and your life's not going to fall apart. What I want to do here is reference my notes, and I want to start to break down some practical steps for you to own your power. And the first one is to set internal standards, stop waiting for permission. You need to figure out what success looks like to you versus what society views as success. Because what I think is successful in money, relationship, health, purpose is different than what you might think. So the first place is that when you want to stop living by seeking for validation, you need to determine and get clarity around what it is that you value and what it is that you think is success. Because that becomes your compass. That becomes what you're working towards on a daily basis. And a quick example of this is that if you feel like you are in shape, then you don't need to get other people to validate that for you. You don't need to ask people, hey, am I in shape? Or post on social media rating, the effectiveness of my body or anything, or your body. If you feel like you are fit, own that and move forward in life. You don't need anybody else to tell you otherwise because you believe that deep inside your own nervous system. The second step is to start making decisions without seeking input from others. So instead of texting 5 friends when you have to make a decision, start making the decision and trusting yourself. One of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to make the right decision and move forward and it's going to propel you, or it might have been the wrong decision, but it's an opportunity to learn from it. And that's what's so beautiful about the whole process is like you learn to trust yourself through trial and error and through failure. And then over time, you actually start to cultivate that belief in your ability to make decisions. And that's where the real power comes in. The next step is to embrace rejection and silence. Women will test men to see if they stand firm in themselves. You'll hear dating coaches talk about this. You'll hear embodiment coaches talk about this. A lot of times women will test to see if the man is actually sturdy. So you have to be able to stand firm in your values, in what you believe, in your ability to set boundaries, because the world's going to start to test that from you. And you need to be ready to be able to act in alignment with those goals and those metrics of success that we earlier just defined. And the fourth step is you need to start validating yourself on a regular basis. And you can do this in multiple of ways. You can journal, you can read affirmations out loud to yourself in the mirror, but you need to start actually building and creating a new story of who you think you are. So saying things like, I trust myself, this is the right decision. You can say it out loud, you can write it down, you can put it on the wall, like whatever you need to do, but you need to start cultivating and creating a new story of who you think you are, of your ability to trust yourself, and allow that to be matched with these actions that you were taking. You can't just say things out loud every day, but not take action. Like you need to say, I'm somebody that I can trust, I am trustworthy, but then also go out there in the world and do trustworthy things and believe in yourself and not continually look for external validation. And the other piece to that is if you feel inclined, you can start to track your process. Very similar to like a habit tracker, you can start to actually create, I don't want to use the word KPIs, but you can start to create a list. Maybe you do it in a spreadsheet, do it in the notes app of your phone, but just, hey, these are the actions that I want to take every day. I'm going to post my truth on social. I'm going to not spam my notifications for likes. Do all these things that are the new behaviors that you're either going to do or the things that you're going to stop doing. And then you can, at the end of every day, go through and actually check to see. So you begin to track your progress. So just to recap some of the things that I talked about in this video, number 1 is stop waiting for permission. Number 2, set your own standards. And number 3, trust your own judgment. I would challenge you for the next 7 days to make decisions without the need to seek validation from anyone. Don't explain who you are. Don't explain why you're doing what you're doing. Just say what you're going to do and just do it. When someone says, hey, do you want to grab a coffee? Just be like, no, sorry, I can't. If they say why, just be like, I can't. And see what comes up in your body. And over time, you're going to begin to build a new level of confidence because you're trusting in this new way of making decisions, not seeking validation. And you're actually taking control of your power. So I really hope that gave you some deeper insight into how to work with this feeling around validation, how to take control of your power. If you like this video, I'd love for you to comment below, like what are your people-pleasing behaviors and what are you committing to for the next 7 days to stop doing those things? I'd love to hear you drop those in the comments, get some dialogue happening around it. Make sure to like this video. It makes a big difference in it getting viewed by the public. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content around men's mental health, personal development, wellness, all the things. So I created this channel because, being a man is hard in today's society, and I want to make sure that I'm providing resources and tools and practices for men to thrive, build relationships, build meaningful businesses, take care of your body, take care of your mental health. So if that sounds like you, then follow along, join the community, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.